Hitting your biggest life goal will not fix your life, and in fact, it might leave you feeling completely hollow inside. We spend years chasing a dream only to get there and realize the finish line feels like an empty room. Think about the last time you wanted something so badly you could barely sleep at night. Maybe it was getting accepted into your dream university, landing a job that pays six figures, or finally buying a house. You told yourself that once you reached that milestone, everything would fall into place. You believed you would finally wake up every morning feeling calm, confident, happy, and completely satisfied with your life. Then the big day actually arrived. You opened the letter, you signed the contract, or you popped the expensive bottle of champagne. You felt an incredible rush of pure excitement that lasted for maybe 20 minutes, or maybe even a couple of days. Then Monday morning rolled around, the sun came up, and you were still the exact same person standing in the exact same kitchen. The magical transformation you waited your whole life for never actually happened. Instead, a strange, quiet sadness crept in, followed by a scary question. Is this really all there is? If you have ever felt that quiet panic, you are definitely not broken and you are definitely not ungrateful. Psychologists have spent decades studying this exact feeling, and it actually has a real medical name. Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, a famous professor who taught one of the most popular classes at Harvard, calls it the arrival fallacy. The arrival fallacy is the false belief that reaching a specific future destination will bring you lasting happiness. We treat happiness like a package that gets delivered to our doorstep the second we cross the finish line. When the package arrives and turns out to be completely empty, our brain goes into a state of shock. Look at legendary astronaut Buzz Aldrin, who literally walked on the surface of the moon back in 1969. He achieved something that only a tiny handful of humans in all of history will ever experience. Yet when he returned to Earth, he fell into a severe depression and battled alcoholism for years. When you have literally stood on the moon at 39 years old, what on earth are you supposed to do next? Olympic athletes go through this exact same brutal crash every 4 years right after the Summer or Winter Games wrap up. Swimmer Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time with 28 medals, admitted he suffered deep depression after every single Olympics. He spent 4 straight years training for a race that lasted less than 2 minutes, sacrificing every part of his daily life. The moment the gold medal hung around his neck, the massive purpose that drove his entire life vanished into thin air. To truly understand why your brain plays this cruel trick on you, we have to look directly at your brain chemistry. Most people think of dopamine as the chemical of pleasure and celebration, but that is actually completely wrong. Dopamine is not the molecule of having what you want, it is strictly the molecule of wanting what you do not have. Neuroscientists from Stanford University found that your dopamine levels spike during the hunt, not when you actually capture the prize. When you are grinding late at night, planning your business, or sweating in the gym, your brain is swimming in dopamine. The anticipation of the reward feels incredible, and it gives you energy, laser focus, and a powerful sense of drive. The exact second you reach the goal, your brain realizes the chase is officially over. Your dopamine levels instantly drop below their normal baseline, causing a physical chemical crash inside your body. You feel exhausted, empty, and strangely sad, even though on paper you just had the biggest win of your life. Your biology is simply not designed to let you sit back, relax, and remain happy forever. From an evolutionary standpoint, a caveman who stayed happy and satisfied after catching one animal would end up starving to death. Our ancestors survived harsh winters and predators because they were built to quickly reset and start hunting again. Scientists call this rapid reset the hedonic treadmill, and it keeps all of us running in place. No matter how high your income goes or how big your house gets, your baseline happiness naturally returns to where it started. A famous study in 1978 compared lottery winners with everyday people who had experienced catastrophic life altering accidents. Within just 1 year, the lottery winners were barely any happier than they had been before buying their winning ticket. They bought faster cars, nicer clothes, and bigger houses. But their daily level of joy quickly normalized back to baseline. The danger starts when you confuse goals with an ultimate purpose. A goal is just an event, a single checkbox on a long piece of paper like running a marathon. Purpose is not a destination at all, but rather the ongoing reason you choose to wake up and lace up your shoes. When you wrap your entire self-worth and identity into a single outcome, you set an emotional trap for yourself. If you fail to reach the goal, you feel completely worthless and view yourself as a total loser. If you succeed and reach the goal, you feel totally lost because the thing that defined you is gone. So, how do you chase big, ambitious dreams without falling straight into this dark mental trap? The secret lies in flipping your focus away from outcomes and attaching your joy purely to the daily process. Psychologist Carol Dweck from Stanford discovered that the happiest, most successful high performers share a specific trait called a growth mindset. They do not view a finished painting, a graduation degree, or a bank account balance as the prize. To them, the act of painting, studying new ideas, and solving difficult problems every day is the real reward. When you love the messy daily practice, reaching the goal is simply a neat side effect rather than your lifesaver. Think about a musician playing a beautiful song on a grand piano in front of an audience. The goal of the musician is never to reach the final chord as fast as humanly possible. If finishing the song was the only point, the best musicians on earth would just play two fast notes and walk off stage. The entire point of the music is the melody, the rhythm, the tempo, and the feeling of playing each note. Your life operates on the exact same rules as that song on the piano. So stop holding your breath for the finish line. Celebrate your victory when it comes, but tomorrow morning, let go of the medal and fall in love with the ordinary work all over again. The finish line was never going to save you because the real magic was happening while you were running,